So our Gen Chem 1 and 2 classes between the two semesters around 2,000. Our organic 1 and 2 between the two semesters around like 1,000. We generally, most of these courses are taught by lecturers. So we have around like a group of 13 lecturers in our department. Most of these classes are taught by the lecturers. We have common exams for both of them with a common curriculum and all of that. So it's not up to us to choose a lot of things. It's a group choosing the courses that the books that we use and the online homework. But our classes used to be 150 when I started, went back to 100, went down to 120, and now it's between 80 and 120. That's generally the class. I normally teach 3 classes a semester, so a total around 300 students. And after COVID, I decided that I'm gonna keep teaching Zoom and in class. So they have the option, if you don't wanna come to class, you can join by Zoom. So it's either or, it's not 100% you have to be in class. Most of the students come to class though, but I tell them if you're sick, if you woke up late, just don't come. My classes are always 8 a.m. classes, so you know how that goes. So I was like, especially Thursdays and Fridays, you know. So I started teaching using iClicker in the first fall. That was like when I went and I walked in and my the coordinator of the Gen Chem, and I was like, other than homework, what should I do for, you know, participation? And he said, I use iClicker. Like, well, we're gonna start using iClicker. So, why iClicker? Because that's the best part of why iClicker. It's easy to manage. It's the easiest thing ever, you know. All you have to do, have students have an iClicker and just put multiple choice. I put multiple choice question, I'll explain why. But it's easy to manage. Students would not complain about the price. That's really like, I've never had a student like, oh, I cannot afford an iClicker, because in the past, you used to give them, we collect the extra in the class, and then I have like this bag of iClickers. In case they just cannot afford it, I'll give them a remote. And I was like, well, you go register it and you'll be fine. It gives them break. So when you're like teaching for 75 minutes on Tuesdays and Thursdays chemistry at 8 a.m., you know, so the first thing they think about, like, let's just take a break, put a question up. I have 3 minutes for you. Let's just go over the answer. And like at some point, like the active learning, I tell them you can talk to each other during that time. Because generally, like not many students talk when you're teaching, but then they have a break so they can talk. Sometimes I look at the answers, and then if there's like half A, half B, and the answer is B, I'll be like, well, half of you got it right, half of you got it wrong. Can you talk to each other? Give them another minute. Then I see going back in the wrong direction, and I have to go around it again. I just like it, you know. Like, this is really the main reason why I use iClicker. So we start with the classic, when it was classic. So there was like this big sheet that I used to give them, like how to register from Blackboard to Canvas. Thank God it's not there anymore, because our Canvas is fully integrated with iClicker. It's amazing. All I have to do is just send them a message on iClicker to go to their email, and then they register, and that's it. So it's pretty easy. I love it. And what do I use in iClicker? Because that's the part. So I know iClicker has a lot of things. However, because I have that option too, that if you cannot afford the app, or your brother or sister had the remote, and right now you still can use the remote, they all can use the remote. So it's basically multiple choice questions, but I can tailor all my multiple choice questions. Can I write them? Like, I go back and like I look at any question that they struggled with in exams, or just retype it, make a PowerPoint out of it and put it there. I don't show them they don't see the screen on their phones, because they have to attend either the class or the Zoom meeting. Their participation is basically 1%. And I tell them at the end of the semester, if that 1% hurt your grade, I'll give you 100%. So it's not really, they don't participate for the grade, but they really are big on, I did not answer this question. They come at the end, I was like, I didn't answer one of the questions. And I was like, it's okay, it's okay. I don't tell them what the criteria is. Because the minute you tell them the criteria, you get all these emails like, I didn't answer 2 out of the 4. Will I get the point? I didn't see the point because, so I don't tell them anything. They just see the grade and grade book and Canvas. And then if they have a problem about it, I tell them to email me before the last week of the classes. That's it. Yeah, as simple as it can get. And they can use their remote, phone, tablet, whatever they can use. So, okay. Why I really use it is this. So every semester, after the second exam, until like last year. So I stopped using iClicker during COVID because, you know, we didn't know what we were doing anyways. And Zoom has its own poll. So I would use the poll from Zoom. Now I use iClicker for anything. So like anytime, let's just say I want to tell them, do you want a review session on Sunday, this time or this time, I use iClicker. Any question I have for the students, it's always iClicker. And in that case, you have the data. You can always go back. And I was like, you know, students didn't like this. One time I asked them, do you like our labs? It was horrible. And it was like, maybe one student said yes, and then the rest, no. And like sometimes I just say, no, definitely not. I hate it. And then you like all the I hate it part. But this here is like what I really always used to show them. So that's the data that I collected the end of this semester, and that's their grade before the lab. So, because our exams are 104 out of 100, so those students that they can get 100 on everything. So those are the kids that got 109. There's a student that has 109% in class, which means the 4 points from every single exam, including the final, they got it. So you see that student there. It's there. So I showed them, this is here. This is our highest A student. And like this here, try to show because students are not good with graphs, right? So I show them that like that block here, that's the A. There's no A if you have less than 60% attendance. It's statistically not possible. Like it's not me telling you you have to come to class, and it's not because I'm awesome, but you know, because I think it's really important to listen to something more than once if you want to learn it. And then I show them like there's always an outcast, even like under 80, you barely can get an A. And then, you know, the ones that are under 60, they generally are in this block, you know, like here there's few students that attend, and I tell them when you attend doesn't mean you get an A, but generally that's we have a spread of really nice attendance. Every year I show them that, every semester. And I think that encourages them to come back to class and participate. And why it works? Because it works. I really think it works. And I think students think it works, because every semester I ask them, like, do you like the iClicker questions? And a lot of them would say yes. Because for them, they would know, they would really be happy if they got it right. And sometimes I show tell them what is the percent. You only had 3 of you got it right. And then one of them, you can see the smile on their face. Oh, I got it right. And the questions are similar to the exam. So you prepare them to the ideas like how are you going to be tested, especially freshman students, you know. They come from high school. They have no clue what's going on. And I personally know their misconceptions. Because like I feel every semester when I give a question, and that question is just, I see the same exact mistake, I have to ask them, can you show me what you did? And that's when I was like, oh my God, you think about it like that, then I have to like go back and rephrase what I say or how to teach it differently, because you can see the same misconcept every single semester. And that's very important. And I would say you won't see it as a person in class unless you want to put all the work outside the class, you know, to go back and see all. But in class, like you can see right there what they got wrong. And that's when you know, like, this is the question that I need to like put more in the quiz, put more on the homework, put more so they can like get it. And they also help each other. That question that I tell them, you know, 50-50, you need to like talk to each other. That's when they start like convincing each other, and you can see them like, no, but I don't know. I had one student last semester didn't like it. In midterm, I have midterm evaluations after the second exam. I like a big questionnaire. What did you think you did right, wrong? Do you think it's more work? How much effort? Rate yourself. And students sometimes are very honest with rating their studying. Because I'm saying, well, like, I studied for 40% of what I should have studied. So one student said that I don't like when my friends and I could discuss questions. It's like, okay, it's one. It's okay. It's like, you don't have to discuss it with your friend. It's a suggestion, guys. But yeah. So how much work and time I put? I normally on Fridays go on my cloud. I like to change the name to every class so I would know. I have a certain percent, like I have 100 points, so it make it easier on them. Again, I like all my students to not ask about math. So I always like make everything out of 100 because they have this great calculator they put out of 100. So by the end of every week, I start counting how many classes I still have, and I change every class the points. So that would take me like an hour, 2 hours, something like that, to see also if there's a students that are missing a lot of classes, sync it, send them an email through Canvas that why you're not coming to class. And that's pretty much it, what I do. And I tried the focus mode. I don't know if I had any data from it, so maybe you probably have 50% not focused and 50% focused out of the students that are in class. So these were 70 out of 80. So, and there was no correlation between grade and focus, but I don't know. Like, I told them, don't worry about it when I gave it. I was like, it's just for me to see your performance, how many of you are listening. But I can see, I think I want to separate it by gender. I think it's more girls that focus than guys. I think, like, that's what I was reading through the names, but I didn't do that.